Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Drake Bell podcast, Time Will Tell.
Oh, I hit myself. Cool. Good start. Yeah.
Yes. Start as you mean to go on.
We didn't record in months, I think.
It's been a little while, hasn't it? Like all personal things, but we're here. We're finally back at it.
Right. Yeah, it's like we are older, but we still want to do this.
No wiser.
No wiser. But yeah, last time we talked about It's Only Time, right?
It's Only Time. The song.
Yeah. The song, It's Only Time. Yeah, absolutely. And this time we talk about Makes Me Happy. And I have no clue if there's any comments you want to mention because I didn't check out before the episode. If there's anything worth mentioning. I mean, I don't know. I just know that someone still said there's like, I mean, that's not the topic today, but someone said there's like a very early episode of, I think, Zoe 101, where you can hear like Fool the World or something, but...
yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. To be honest, I didn't check either.
I think I replied to that comment and asking which episode that is, because I only know one episode, but that's not the one the person mentioned. So, and he didn't tell me which one because I would like to check that out. Yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff we can still like find in the old Nickelodeon episodes, like of any I don't know, Zoe 101, Victorious, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch. I think after Drake and Josh, I didn't watch anything, but yeah. So
no, yeah, likewise. Before we get into it, I just want to say a thank you to a couple of people that have helped us in our BuyMeACoffe support. And if you're interested in doing so, as a little bit of a thanks, because it does take a little bit of time for us to prepare all of this and edit it and record it. The link will be probably just here. Kai will do his magic. So there's a couple of people. We have Smiley Smile 31. So thank you.
I think that's a happy person. Like
it was really happy person.
To the episode today.
Yeah, I think they supported us with like $25 or something, like a lot.
All right.
That's a huge amount. We were also Smiley Smile.
Yeah.
And also a thank you to Mariah as well for doing that. We do really appreciate it. So thank you for sharing your hard-earned money.
Thanks.
So, Makes Me Happy. Am I right in thinking Mike's version of this, which is really, it's a Mike song, isn't it? That we're aware of.
Yeah.
Mike is credited on the album as just Mike.
Yeah, and I was gonna mention that as well. I think Mike's version was a little different, and I think it first appeared in Zoe 101.
Yes.
And I think it was more like, you make me happy instead of it makes me happy. But he also had a line where it says because it makes me happy. And the lyrics were a little different, I think. And I think when they decided to make this a Drake song, Drake changed a few of the lyrics. And Makes Me Happy is also one of the songs that still gets performed everywhere. Like when he plays concerts, it's kind of always in the set list. And also, like, I think like if he was on TV a lot today, he would perform this a lot. But there is actually, like, he performed this on, I think, on Regis and Kelly in 27.
I remember. Was there also a video where it's like an acoustic performance, but Mike is on it as well on acoustic guitar?
I know that video, but I never found it again. Like it's kind of lost media. even though I have the audio somewhere from that.
Oh,
And
right.
it's kind of like a full band, but it's more like an acoustic set. I think it has also like a drum set.
I think it's like drum brushes or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
something like that. And but I don't know on which show that was. Maybe it was also Regis and Kelly, but the one I mean is like only Drake on acoustic guitar.
Living in a daydream, I'll show you what it all means. Spending some time in the sun. Let's get up and run, it's just beginning. I just can't stop singing now, cause it makes me happy. I want it all, but not too much. I wanna feel the way you touch me. I'm the kind of guy who's always there to come and find you.
And he's promoting his Next Fest tour with Corbin Bleu.
Wow,
And
so that's an old video.
Like, yeah, that's old, and it must be 27 because I think that tour took place in 27. And we all know Drake loves Corbin Bleu, so it's so funny because when he was on TRL, where I don't know if that was the same day he performed, I don't know, but anyway, he was there and he was asked about Corbin Bleu, like if they are friends and stuff, and he's like, yeah, we're great friends. And then he turns around to the crowd, to the few people that are in the studio, and he's like shaking his head and stuff. it's so funny because he's like 20 or something, and he's already like he's not playing the rules like of how you do it when you are on a major label. Like that's something probably they don't want you to do. Like don't act like an asshole. But he was like, I don't care.
Too that you're touring with, like we said, Ellie and AJ and Corbin from High School Musical.
Yeah.
You guys all hang out together?
You know, I mean, we run into each other in LA and stuff like that, but as far
Right.
as, you know, hanging out, we're not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw 'em.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw 'em.
Yeah, no. We're great friends.
Right.
Corbin's really cool. He's a really nice guy,
Right.
and Allie and AJ are great.
Right.
It's, you know, it's a lot of fun.
You do your thing, and then it's back to whatever, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
All right, well, you and Corbin have a huge female fan base, and of course, tons of websites out there, fan sites.
And
I think it was playful, though.
It was playful, but
yeah.
it was also kind of. I think it was also kind of the truth because, like, I think, like, whoever thought it's a good idea to put both of them together in one set because that's not the same music. Drake comes with his classic rock band with his horn sections, whatever, and I don't even know what Corbin Bleu did, but he definitely didn't do that kind of style. And
No.
I think it was, of course, he was playful, but in that moment, but also I think there was a little bit truth in it because
I'm
like,
sure.
it was kind of like we don't have anything in common, so
Yeah.
it was was funny.
They release songs, and that's about as close as it gets.
Yeah, and maybe Corbin Bleu was also on Universal or something.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, he
maybe.
Yeah, I mean Drake was Universal Motown, but I think Universal that was owned by Universal, so
Right,
they
okay.
probably thought let's put our artists together in one tour and like have good promo and stuff. And yeah, and I think Drake did this song on a lot of TV shows as well. But also like Makes Me Happy was like that song that was kind of the song of the last episode of Drake and Josh, like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like
I forgot
really,
about that.
yeah, Really Big Shrimp.
Yes. Yeah, the movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably it was a movie outside of Germany because in Germany they just had like 2 episodes for that, and
Right.
they.
Oh,
and
really? Okay.
Yeah, and when I saw the original version, the American English version for the first time, I noticed that in Germany they cut out a lot of scenes to have it actually the length of episodes. So,
Oh, no way. So it
Yeah.
was presented as just a
as
2
the last
episodes
2
as normal.
as the last 2 episodes of Drake and Josh. Yeah,
Wow, okay. Yeah, that wasn't presented that way here.
it was a movie,
I remember,
right?
though. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But it was
it's
a
bit
short
like
movie.
Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. It was like, yeah.
But how long was it? Because wasn't it like a movie that was like 45 minutes or something, like really
I
short?
don't know, you know. It's a good question. I'm not sure. I seem to remember it being a normal length movie, but I could be misremembering that. I do remember, though, the performance of Makes Me Happy on that movie, those last two episodes, however you want to call it, it was slightly different again. The lyrics are slightly different.
Yeah.
Let's go, everybody must know, love in my heart like a bomb. It's blowing a song inside, I'm singing. Sunshine that you're bringing down, it makes me happy. Oh no, radio, talk back and stereo, it's after the song that I wrote. I'm holding a note that won't stop ringing. I just can't stop singing now, it makes me happy. Everything I need, headed from above. I just can't get enough. Your love makes me happy.
Yeah, kind of similar to the
Mike's version?
yeah, but also to the Radio Disney edit.
Everybody must know the love in my heart's never wrong. I'm strolling along inside, I'm singing. Sunshine that you're bringing now, and it makes me happy.
That I think was like exclusive, like an iTunes exclusive or something. Because
Maybe.
like I remember to like 15 years ago, I could only get this by creating like an US iTunes account.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, to actually buy this thing because it wasn't available outside of the US or
Wow.
I think UK as well, but in Germany you couldn't get this without like a UK US account on iTunes.
And
So I-
VPNs weren't really a thing.
Yeah, and same thing with a superhero song, which also it wasn't available in Germany. So I had to
Interesting.
be creative to buy this, and yeah, I didn't like for a long time. I didn't know about this version because it just didn't show up in any of my country,
enough.
and I
It's a little
have
bit
no,
like the Walmart version of Somehow, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, with the difference that there's different lyrics and
The mix
I
is
think
definitely different.
the somehow had a completely different mix, but same lyrics. But yeah, like I still don't know why they did that, because why did they change the lyrics in the Radio Disney? It wasn't anything explicit, right?
No, I don't think so.
So doesn't make sense. Like, and I know we figured that it probably makes sense to change it. I mean, that version was never released, that Disney version, but for the Makes Me Happy, it doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. That version was also like slightly different mixed, and yeah, I mean, it's nothing we really needed. I think the Radio Disney thing.
Yeah. Maybe it was an early version. Who knows?
Maybe,
Could
yeah.
be.
Maybe
Possibly.
maybe they sent out the material to Disney and then they changed the song. So maybe
Yeah,
maybe
possibly.
that's why.
But the another memory I have of Makes Me Happy, and again another video I think that's just lost now because I've never been able to find it since. I want to say this was around 2010, maybe 2009, maybe even earlier. There was a backstage video of Drake and the band. So there was Zach and there was Mike. And they were in, I can only describe as a hotel room, like a dark lit hotel room. And Drake and Mike were on a sofa. Mike had the guitar, I think. And they were all kind of a cappella singing Makes Me Happy. So Drake was obviously singing the lead. Mike was doing all his background vocals. There might not have even been a guitar, you know. It could have just been an a cappella warm-up or just having fun.
Yeah.
And I can't find it at all since. I don't know if you ever saw that video.
I never saw it. I never. I think almost everything that includes Mike is kind of gone from YouTube.
Maybe it's him just pulling everything.
I don't know, but also like in one of the last episodes, we also talked about that person in the comments mentioning that studio video. I didn't like for the person we can already tell that we haven't seen the video yet, but like I figured out the person who uploaded that, but I didn't get any answer yet for that.
It's a shame.
Because I would love to see that. And yeah. So I think Makes Me Happy had like 5 different performances in one movie, like in the really big shrimp movie. Like it was like I maybe 3 times, but it was a lot. And then there were also there was also that strange remix they did. I think.
Are you referring to that strange remix as in the movie's remix of that from the producers? Yeah.
Yeah. That was so like it was, in my
Imagine
opinion,
if that was the Radio Disney.
yeah, but also that remix, I think in reality it wouldn't have been that bad, you know, because it's really bad. But actually I can already say that in this episode we will figure out that there is even stuff in the original Makes Me Happy that you can hear on that fuck shit whatever remix from the episode, right? There is one element which I never noticed is in Makes Me Happy.
I love it, yeah.
And we will see. I think that will be probably after the drums or something. We will hear that.
I imagine. I think I know exactly what you're saying. Cool. Shall we dive in?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Just before we do actually do that, I have the credits here just for reference because I feel like it's worth mentioning that. So this is produced, according to the album credits, by Mike and only Mike. So apparently CJ was not involved within that. Maybe he was, but not officially.
Yeah.
The drums, however, I totally overlooked this. It's not Joey.
No, it's Mike, right?
No, it's Brian Burwell.
Okay.
And it's the only time he appears in the album, or any of the albums, I believe. I'm personally not familiar with Brian Burwell, but apparently he did drums for Makes Me Happy.
And it makes sense because that song obviously is not a song which was written in the same time they did Fallen For You or something. Yeah, it was earlier. And so the drummer is someone else because it was probably someone from Mike's team back then, from Mike's friends.
Yeah. So maybe other Nickelodeon sound clips would have had Brian Burwell as the drummer on those, I imagine.
Yeah.
We also have the bass played by Mike. We have the keys played by Mike. We have the guitar played by Mike. And Drake, actually. And then finally, the horns are CJ. So they are the credits.
Finally.
Yeah. We got the team going.
Yeah.
So, shall I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
We didn't get permission for this song, so...
It got pulled by Mike.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's just kick off with the drums. As always, we've got a bit of a theme going on, haven't we? The other thing you'll notice that there are a couple of replacements again. We've got a kick and a snare replacement. So here is a little bit of the kick sound on its own. A lot of bleed.
Yeah.
That's okay. Which is going to a drum squash, I'm assuming is what they've called that. And a little bit of compression, parallel compression, for anyone interested. We then also have the replacement kick.
Yeah.
And together, quite a meaty kick.
Yeah.
We have a snare top and bottom, which is just the kit. Fairly straightforward. There is, I believe, there is some reverb applied directly to the top of the snare. If I turn it off. back on.
Yeah, it's some slap reverb.
Right? Just a little bit of a tail to that.
Yeah.
And then the replacement snare, just so you hear that. And together. So you're mostly hearing the replacement snare.
Yeah.
To be truthful.
But actually the replacement snare sounds like shit, to be honest, but in the mix it sounds good.
Yeah. It's funny, there's a lot of the same samples I've realized through multiple songs. It makes sense. Yeah. Like it's totally cohesion for the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite funny. So your kick and snare together, you get this. And of course, we have the old hi-hat as well. Or just simply hat, as it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly straightforward. You have your toms slightly panned. As so. And just to hear the other one on the other side too.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our overheads and room mics. And just so you can hear that together. I really quite like the groove of this, actually.
Yeah, it has.
You have like a roll on the snare almost. I don't know what you would call it.
The ghost notes, yeah, between the beat. That's what I do a lot when I play the drums. But sometimes I do it too much because I listen too much to that records, you know. So,
yeah, it's like boom, ja, ticka, ticka, like this little tiny bits of rhythms in there. It just sounds great.
Yeah.
Really good groove. So yeah, who was it? Brian Burwell. Good job.
Good job.
Nice. And just so you can hear all of the drums together.
Yeah.
It's nice. You also get a really nice moment, of course, as we know in the song, where is it the end of the chorus and there's a hard kind of stop, which you'll hear here before it kicks back in.
Mm-hmm.
And then back in. It's just nice. Mm-hmm. It's just really good. I'm curious because I can't remember what it sounds like in the bridge. I'm going to play it for you. It seems like it's mostly a hi-hat.
Yeah.
So there you go. And the very end of the song. There you go. So I must say there's very little I can really add to that. I don't think. They are well-played drums. So there you go. Then we have... Yeah. Is this what you were talking about?
It's a track. The Drake and Josh remix track. They used in that remix.
So
but louder than in the original.
Yes. Yeah. So this is really weird. So it's just a loop.
Yeah.
And it gets played, I believe, for most of the song. Yeah, almost the entire song. And once you hear it, you kind of can't unhear it. It's one of those things that you lock your ear onto. So I'm going to play it for you. Let me know, as you know, the audience at large listening, if you've noticed this sound before. So I'm going to play it. It is slightly panned. It's literally that.
Yeah.
Which on its own doesn't seem like much.
I think now that you can hear this loop, you can cut out your own loop out of this episode, and someone can recreate the Makes Me Happy Drake and Josh shit version. Drake didn't like in the episode, and then you can upload that to your channels and promote.
There you go.
Like we do that, send it to us, and we will talk about this in the next episode.
Amazing, yeah.
We will promote it in the next episode because we have so many listeners. Many people listens to our podcast. Like 100,000 people. Like we are almost famous, I would say.
Yeah.
So
we had to actually shut our email down, didn't we? Because we got that many
servers were like destroyed. Yeah. I had to move. Like I had to move to Mexico because.
Yes. I'm now living in Japan. So just so you can hear the drums and that loop together. If I just increase that to make it obvious.
It's like a little slap sound.
It's weird, isn't it? It's on every beat one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some kind of phasing, filtering, whatever. Like some filter.
Yeah.
Sounds like a filter put on a hi-hat. Like that hi-hat plays like a swing groove, and then you put that filter sometimes. Something
Possibly,
like that.
Maybe. I wonder if it was just like, is it RXM was the software that I think they use for a lot of loops? So I assume it would have just been a dragged in loop that attached to the BPM of the song. Yeah. I think. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And then we have a tambourine, which I believe as well is a loop. I could be wrong. Looking at the waveform, I mean...
Yeah.
I know, it's hard to tell. See what you think. Pretty standard.
Yeah.
Tambourine. If I push that forward. There is a very definite change in the groove, though. You might have just heard it happen there.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of odd. But, you know, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then there's this would be the bridge. Fairly straightforward.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's samples or if that's like recorded because it's so clean.
Yeah, it's hard to see, isn't it? But they look very similar. So I have a feeling that, or maybe it was recorded, and it was then looped.
And then looped.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But saying that, in the credits, there are no percussion credits.
Yeah.
And in previous songs, when there has been a player, it has been credited. So I'm assuming maybe a loop. And then we have the bells, which I will play for you. Which
it's
is your
Christmas.
Well, it almost sounds to me like it's a wedding.
Or a wedding, yeah.
Yeah, it just gives me that vibe. Let me play all of those parts so far with the drums, and you'll hear the context of that. And then there's also some bells here towards the end.
The Christmas bells.
There you go.
Yeah.
I must be honest, I don't know if I've ever really noticed that in the song at the end.
I don't think so. I don't think I noticed it, but I noticed the other bells.
Yes. Yeah.
And also the sleigh bells.
Yeah,
and that's
the
what
sleigh
makes
bells.
it like you can't tell me that's not sounding like Christmas.
Well, it's just like Down We Fall. And the sleigh bells
Yeah.
in that song as well.
Yeah, but this one sounds more like Christmas because it's like a fast, happy
Maybe.
song.
Yeah.
You can like. I wonder why Drake actually didn't yet release like a version of that song, but with the Christmas lyrics. Like make it a Christmas track.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
interesting.
yeah. We should. I should
Just
call
create
him
one.
and pitch him the idea of like creating the whole "It's Only Time" record, but with Christmas lyrics, so we can release that next month. That would be cool.
Yeah, Fool the Santa.
Fool the Santa. Yeah.
So here are the sleigh bells. I mean, they are definitely looped.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost doesn't even sound natural.
Yeah.
But in the context, it works great. So you hear... In fact, let me bring it to the start where you'll really hear that. There you go.
Yeah.
Then we get into the bass guitar. Yeah. Again, I feel like there's not really a lot I need to say about this, but I'll play it for you so you can hear it. This is the amplitude version, so this is with the sound of the bass with an amp simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And so on.
Yeah.
And you can really hear, and I don't mean this as a criticism, but as a character of the sound, it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of floppiness to the strings and buzz in that. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. As I say, it kind of creates a bit of a character to the sound of that. I want to say I feel like much of this is the same. So I'm going to cut to when it gets to a chorusy part. And so on. And then we have the bridge, which is where, of course, it will change again a little bit. And there you go.
Yeah.
Just
I
so,
think
go on.
I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but looking at the sound wave, it seems like they looped stuff there. Like he reused
Probably.
parts. Because the
Maybe.
the waveform and the verses look so
You see, especially
looks
towards the
identical.
end. Like here, I don't know if you can see my cursor,
Yeah, I can.
and here,
Yeah.
very similar, not exactly the same, but yeah, maybe.
But
Who knows?
I have more to say in terms of loops later when
Okay.
when we are a different instrument.
Yeah. Just in case anyone's interested, let me play you the Totally Clean DI, or a little part of it.
Yeah.
And this is where I find it really interesting. I'm not sure what, the DI interface was. Like, it could have been a desk, it could have been just a very small machine. But notice how weird the waveforms are. Like, they're very unevenly spiky.
Yeah.
And that's just a bit odd. So, yeah, I don't know what's causing that. So this is the sound of the Totally Clean bass. like you can hear some of the flappiness of that bass string at the end.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's because the strings are kind of like loose or something. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
but it
maybe,
shouldn't be in terms of like it doesn't need to be tuned differently. But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say, but I mean, it works in the song. Like,
oh
in the
yeah,
mix.
yeah, it's just not something you would notice unless you had this situation.
Yeah.
You know, of being able to hear it. Let me just hear the very end note and see if that's the same. No, not really. It's just the end here. You just hear it vibrate against the fretboard. Yeah, weird. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that is the bass, which does have an SSL plugin attached to it. Then we have the piano, which, of course, plays quite a big part in the song, but it kind of gets a little bit buried, I think, as well. You really notice it in the bridge, especially when there's the kind of twinkly part that's played.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you kind of don't really hear it. So allow me to play a bit for you. I just think it's really lovely. Anyone that is also watching the video version of this on YouTube, you might see there is a muted piano track underneath. It's exactly the same performance. It's just a different mic.
Yeah.
And it was never used. So that is there. So let me play you that isolated. I love that bit. Yeah, it's just great.
Mike's playing. It's just great.
Yeah, it's lovely. And it's what really gets me is the introduction of the left hand with the bass notes just kind of climbing. It's just really nice. It sounds great.
Play the bridge so we can hear that little jazz.
Oh yeah, it's lovely.
I always love that.
Here we go. So this is the bridge leading into that pit.
Nice.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really lovely. Other than that, there's not a lot happening. It's a lot of repetition, so it would feel a bit silly just to play the same thing again for you. In case it in any way changes, I don't think it does. At the end, I will play you that little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. It's one of my favourite things in that. Do you think I should play a little bit of the other mic just to hear it?
You can show how it not sounds different.
Yeah. So this is the other mic. I'll turn it up. It's exactly the same performance though.
Yeah.
It could have even been, I imagine at some point, it would have been mixed into each other.
Yeah.
But it wasn't used.
Yeah, but that also could be because, probably Mike had his like piano mic'd all the time, so he had mics on that. And it was ready all the times, but he sometimes just didn't use
need it.
Yeah, so it
Good point.
was recorded because he, as you know, he already had his own preset projects where he had already the tracks ready. So maybe he just muted it because he didn't need that.
Yeah, maybe. I suppose it's better to have it and not need it than think, oh, I should have recorded that with a mic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could be totally right. Then we have the organ, which again is just in the bridge. There you go. What's really
Nice,
interesting
meaty.
is... Yeah, do you think?
It is.
Yeah.
It is meaty, but it's like it has so small parts. I don't think it makes sense to like set up like a real Hammond
True.
for that
Yeah.
small parts.
And you can always tell as well, because in some of the other projects, there are multiple Hammond mics.
Yeah.
And obviously this one isn't. I mean, it could have been condensed, I suppose, but yeah, I'm certain you're correct with that. There's stylistically an interesting thing of how it's played is that you hear the kind of glissando of the lower notes quite frequently in that, you know, where you run your finger along the notes.
Yeah.
And that's a really prominent thing.
Yeah.
It's just happening a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to do that as well if I can. Because it's hard to do that while you play stuff and then you want to do that thing. So sometimes I just do a second track where I like do that.
Add that in. Yeah, yeah.
Fake it in. Fake it till
Fake
you
it till you make it. Exactly. I also think, though, if it was played on an organ, that kind of thing is easier because the keys are different. Whereas, like, doing it on a piano, it is harder. Like, your finger does catch more. So, it's not the design initially, I don't think, either. So,
Yeah.
I guess...
probably it's even like a plastic MIDI keyboard, which has no strength in the keys.
Yeah.
Like,
Not the velocity, the weighted keys.
yeah.
So then we get to the guitars, which is kind of interesting. The first thing I'll say, I might even start with the acoustic guitars first and come back to the electric guitars, because a thing that I find really interesting that I'm not sure that many people have realized or maybe even paid attention to.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you know what I'm going to say. So
That's
when we know
something-
that Drake plays it live, he does it a particular way, doesn't he? Which often he will play it as this kind of C chord. He has his little finger down, so it's C chord to this F. So he's doing like... Like, that's often how he plays it.
Yeah.
But the album, this version, has none of that at all. And actually it uses a capo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone realised that. So it's capoed at the 5th fret, and it's a G and a C chord.
Yeah.
I mean, my guitar is slightly out of tune there, but you get the idea. It's just really interesting because I don't see anybody ever playing it that way.
Yeah.
In the Live Mexico DVD, you can see Zach Hexum doing it this way with the capo.
Yeah.
As
True.
well.
Are we gonna listen to the acoustic, or do you want to listen to the electric guitars first?
I was thinking, shall we hear the acoustic first? Because that's the first thing that you hear. And then
Yeah.
I'll go back to the electric.
But I want to say, because the acoustic track, that's something I didn't talk to you and like to our other friends for a long time, because something I noticed in the acoustic guitars, which I will wait if you notice too, but like I never noticed when I listened to the whole, like on the record, like play it.
Okay. I'll do, of course, as you'll see, if, again, you're watching the video version of this, that it is a double-tracked performance.
Yeah.
I believe they are doing exactly the same thing. I don't remember them being any differences.
Yeah,
so-
I agree.
I will just play them both. and so on. Have I gone past what you were thinking yet?
I don't know if you know it, but
Are
I'm
you
pretty
thinking about? Go on.
I'm pretty sure that they didn't record this whole song that way, because I'm pretty sure they like looped a lot of the guitars. And even if you
Maybe,
listen
yeah.
to, I think in the bridge you can hear that they even kind of built the bridge part out of other parts they used before that. And also that explains why the guitar sounds so perfect all the time, because like he was like "Ba-dum, da, ba-da, ba-da, ba," and then they probably looped that.
I see, and also you can really hear some hard cuts. I mean, even in
Yeah.
what we just heard there, it's not a fully human performance, is it? Really?
Yeah.
Let me play. Shall I play
And
the bridge part?
I was even thinking about if someone even played this guitar, or if this some like loop, like some sample pack, whatever. I don't know. Could be,
I'm
but
pretty certain it's a human performance. I think
Yeah.
because you can hear one of these guitars. Let me just find where it was. Yeah, there's something. Is it the right side? There's. It's kind of a weird thing. Mm-hmm. Can't tell exactly what's being done there. Yeah, it's almost like this could be what you're talking about. Really, it's almost like it's going to the bridge. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's dropping there, but it doesn't. It goes immediately back to the same chord.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe that was on purpose. It could be, but you can hear it where it's like it's transitioning somewhere, and it just doesn't go there.
yeah.
So
part.
it could be what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of loops going on, which is not a bad idea, because it makes the guitar sounding perfect, like in the whole song.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That'd be an interesting one if we could ever find the answer to that. I wouldn't say though personally that it is a sample pack. I'll just play a little bit of the kind of chorusy bit.
Yeah.
And you can hear where originally, before this was bounced out, where it's like faded, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end. Let me find the bridge.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious. That is clearly a different performance.
The bridge?
Yeah, like
Yeah, but
the tone of the guitar is different.
Yeah, but after the bridge you can hear it's like the exact same thing you heard in the beginning of the song.
Yeah. Shall I see if the waveforms align?
I mean, if it does, then you can like erase the track when inverting the phase, you know. So
That's a good point. It really does sound like it, doesn't it?
yeah,
I was just going to see if...
I mean, you need to find the right spot, but
I was curious if they... Oh, they do.
yeah,
That is the perfect thing over the top of that. That is the
yeah,
same.
that's the same.
So you're right. You are totally right. And,
And I
CJ
didn't-
Mike was like, oh, no one will ever know.
Yeah, I mean, but also it's like when I noticed this, I kind of thought it's like a great thing because you get the perfect sound this way.
Yes.
Like you don't have to make 100 takes. You just have the perfect take there, even if it's looped. Like it sounds perfect. So
I've got a thought to that. I wonder if, obviously, the original intention for this song was for Nickelodeon, wasn't it?
yeah, probably Mike didn't want to put a lot of work into it. So
Exactly. And also, I don't think in Nickelodeon it was a full song either. I don't think it was as long as this, maybe.
no, it was like 1 minute.
Yeah. So it makes sense if he's just copying the guitar part, because he wouldn't
Yeah.
want to re-record it and find the same tones.
Yeah.
And therefore that makes sense why the bridge sounds different. As
Yeah.
if maybe it's a different guitar.
Probably.
You know, because the tone of all of that bridge is so much duller than that.
Yeah, true.
So that could be it. Could be a mystery solved as to why that is. Interesting. Never thought about that, actually.
Yeah.
But of course, the very end of the song, it will have had to have been recorded that way to include an elongated strum, unless it's been overdubbed.
Yeah.
That's possible. Let's see what this sounds like. I'm going to scoot along because that would be quite a long time. It's hard to tell. So the electric guitars would be next, which you may see also involves amp farm. So there's a few of these guitars. The main one that you hear would be this one labeled Guitar 3, which sounds like so. Very, very heavily distorted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can hear the harmonics.
Yeah.
Kind
But
of
it's
ping.
like also like a classic Mike sound, I think. And the way it's played is really, it's kind of like a funk riff, but in a rock song.
Yeah, it's very much that kind of idea of heavily strumming, like heavily attacking an individual string.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just get that kind of
Which he's like a pro in like to do that, because that's I think that's a certain technique with the fingers I didn't even figure out still till today. Right. But I mean, I think most guitar players can do that, and I think Drake can do that as well, but he has like he does this in a lot of his solo songs as well. You can hear sometimes in the background something going on where you can hear that he's like hitting the one string and he does a melody on that, which is kind of the mic thing for me. Like, and I try to learn that, but it's hard, and it sounds so cool.
it. Obviously, it doesn't have any kind of level of coolness when it's unplugged, but yeah, it's that kind of like grittiness that is so different to if it was performed as
Yeah.
like that has no character than
Yeah.
like it's just different. It's not
Yeah.
the same. And I remember for a long time not fully knowing exactly what he was doing in that. I actually thought it used to be little maybe power chords or a stab of the chord.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was that, but it turns out he's just playing the individual string.
Yeah.
And it sounds great. There's also something that happens that's kind of nice. Straight after that, when it goes to the F chord, he's basically playing the scale over the top while holding it. What is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, whatever it is. And so on.
I noticed that.
Which is just kind of a nice little detail. Allow me just to play that little bit for you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
This sounds nice. It's great.
Yeah.
Then we have much of the same happening again, but we have I believe, let me just check. Yes, just here, where the song has that stop, that little musical pause before the verse comes back in.
Yeah.
That particular guitar, Guitar 3, has some panning that currently is to the right speaker, but it brings it into the middle just for that moment. Just listen out for that.
Oh.
And then it goes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you listen to the mix now, you will notice it, that it just kind of pings back to the side.
Yeah.
Straight after.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, you'll see it just happen there. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Then I guess it makes sense to look at the sort of chorusy part of that, doesn't it? Let's hear that. Is this going to be the right part? Maybe it's not. No. Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So that also took me such a long time to try and work out what on earth he's playing.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of dissonant.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of bluesy, I think. Like, I mean, it's on purpose, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But so what I think it is something like
Yeah.
Something like that. Where that's just weird. It's just
Yeah,
really
I mean,
odd.
it's. I think it's only weird if you play these notes together.
Yes.
But if you make sure there's like almost like only one note at a time,
Yeah.
it works.
Absolutely. Because they're a semitone apart. Like, normally
Yeah.
that is not what the sound that you want. But, there's just something about it that I really like. It was just really cool.
Yeah.
There. And I'm certain he's adding vibrato with his little finger when he adds that in.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's really good.
Yeah.
And allow me to play the bridge part for you with the same guitar. There you go.
Yeah.
Much in the same, like, just power chords, really, for the most part. And then the rest of the guitar does the same thing, essentially.
Yeah.
So then guitar 2, or technically it's called guitar 1 now, but the second one I'll present to you sounds like so. It's just nice harmony part to it.
It's
great.
nice, yeah.
Which, interestingly, that doesn't play in the bridge. Mm-hmm. So we just have essentially the same thing a bunch of times.
Yeah.
As the song progresses there.
Yeah.
So to move on to guitar number 2, which is the bridge part. And then you have this little thing here. Little glissando.
I think that's a high double of the other guitar, right?
Of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of. So the the other one that I showed you was the power chords. And then this one you've just heard, which is guitar number 2, as it's called, was sort of triad shapes of that. So there was like the...
Oh, yeah.
kind of idea.
Yeah.
So it was all based around the same area of the neck. Which, I mean, he does that a lot in a lot of the songs. But that guitar part literally only appears in the bridge as that particular tone. Yeah. And then the very final one, guitar 4, is a harmony of the idea.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
right? Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I believe is what he used to play live, actually. Because if you listen to the Mexico DVD, that's what he's playing.
Oh, all right. I didn't know.
Rather than the... It seems like he's doing the... Yeah, it seems like that's what he's doing. But anyway, this is what it actually sounds like from the man himself.
Oh, that's the wrong part.
Yeah.
You had one job.
I'm sorry.
You are fired.
There we go. It's here. I'll just play that little bit again.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Great. I'd forgotten actually that he doubled that chorusy bit.
Yeah.
I am fired. So let me just play all those bits together. So you can hear all of those guitar parts as one. I'll do it from where they both enter at the same time. It's kind of a lesson in harmony, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Sounds cool like that. You could even make like a guitar version of that song.
It's true. Yeah. It does sound really nice, and that's what used to confuse me, because I would hear all these things and not really knowing exactly what each guitar is doing. So it was a puzzle that I never really understood, and now I get it. It's great. Just so you can hear the bridge. Yeah, it's great. And this next bit sounds to me, you know that little glissando slide? It sounds to me like a sound effect from, like, I don't know, a laser weapon or something. Like, it's just really weird. But yeah, so that's all the guitar parts. And of course, when you add in the acoustic guitar as well, just so you can hear that bit, it all works lovely. It's just great. Honestly, just a lesson, as I say, in stacking harmonies.
By the way, we didn't talk. I don't know how long this episode is now. I think it's like 1 hour, and we still didn't talk about how this is a rip-off of Jellyfish's Baby's Coming Back.
It's so true.
Like, I can show it right now. There you go. Like
Exactly.
they stole it.
I
But
think
actually-
it's the same key, isn't it? Oh, maybe it's a semitoned out.
I don't know, but I mean, CJ mentioned to me that they stole everything.
Well, I mean, if
On
you
the
think about
record.
it, nothing's original. It can't
Nothing's no, not
unless it sounds horrendous because it's trying to be original.
Yeah,
There's only 12 notes.
yeah, and also like it's too late now. Like when you release something now, you can't really invent stuff anymore in music.
It's true. Yep, absolutely. Because that was the whole thing, wasn't it, with Ed Sheeran, wasn't it, a few years ago with his song, and he got taken to court because it sounded like a Marvin Gaye song.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
And he got let off from that. He couldn't be convicted because he proved that chord progression is used in 10,000 songs.
yeah,
So, like, how can he be the one that's getting sued?
yeah.
Actually,
Because
there's
he's
songs that
famous.
Marvin
That's
Gaye-
why.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, if I do it, no one cares. But I could steal like a whole song,
Yeah.
and no one would care. But once I get famous, like people want to see the money. Like,
It's very true. Yeah.
yeah.
So when are you going to release your song "Found a Way," Kai?
That's not existing.
Then we have.
It's called I didn't find a way. That's
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
yeah.
I lost my way.
I lost my way. I lost my way.
It's like the depressive version of that.
And
song.
also my version includes realize and not realign.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Because I wanna I think it triggers Drake, so I wanna use realize.
that was funny. Yeah. Then we have the horn section, which was
Yeah.
played by CJ.
Yeah.
We have trombones, a low horn, alto, sax, trumpets. There's all sorts going on here.
Yeah.
I feel like the best thing. Shall I just play the whole lot?
Yeah. But also I think that is really a little bit drowned in the mix.
Yes.
These things, yeah, right?
Excuse me. Yeah. They're not very prominent. I mean, you can hear them. They're not lost
Yeah.
really, but they're definitely not up front.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they wanted that more guitar-driven vibe, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, just check out the live DVD and you will get all kinds of horn stuff.
Plus more than this.
Yeah.
Like way more. I kind of slight diversion, but I kind of miss the sounds of those in this album. You
Yeah.
know, the live performance
Yeah,
of the
totally.
horns.
Totally.
Like I always hear them, and it's like, oh, it's missing.
Yeah.
It feels a bit of a shame. So just to hear all of that horn section together.
That's the Zach Haxum saxophone solo melody going on there,
Yeah.
which he did in Mexico.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
shoot, you mean
really cool.
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I must admit though, I totally overlooked the fact that it sounds like there's a foghorn on this.
Yeah. and this is not a real instrument, I think.
No,
It sounds like MIDI. But what I think is really cool about the horns is that I think it's the very last. I don't know if it's actually that, but I think it's the trumpet 2, the last track, which is like boop 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 boop
check
doop,
it.
which makes these. I don't know.
think
Sounds
this is,
almost. That's not the one, right? But it sounds like a synthesizer, kind of.
It's not that one, is it?
No.
Is it going to be? It's going to be a trombone, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's deeper. This one probably.
Oh, it'll be low horn. It has to be.
Can you play all of them? Maybe that note is just in my head.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's the trombone, but I thought it's like an octave lower. But it's great to have that there. That
Yeah.
that,
Sounds good. Yeah,
That's cool.
that little sliding.
that
kind
gives
of intro.
gives a lot of energy to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they. That seems like that was all CJ from the credits as
Yeah.
well. So amazing. Then we're on to the vocals.
Yeah. The part everyone skips to.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, so this is Drake's vocal. It's got a little bit of a compressor on it, some pitch correction, some EQing, and some delay. Mm-hmm. So this is the sound of that.
Well, hello, let's go. Everybody must know love's in my heart like a bomb. It's blowing a song inside. I'm singing sunshine that you're bringing now, and it makes me happy.
And just so you can hear, I'm going to play the next part, but I'm going to remove all the plugins just so you hear it totally raw.
Listen to the radio, playing back in stereo. Sounds like my favorite song. I'm humming along, my head is ringing, and I just can't stop singing now, 'cause it makes me happy. It makes me happy. You're everything I need, handed from above. I can't get enough of your love, 'cause it makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Yeah, it's as you expect, really.
Play the Vox stop. This is gonna be interesting.
Okay. Just before I do that, let me just play the little vocal double that happens at the top. Unless that's what you meant, sorry.
That's not what I meant, but play it.
Which is just, yeah, you'll have heard it in the
Is
song.
there to come and find you?
It's just that little bit of an extra U, which is the same performance.
Yeah.
Just it extends that. Okay, so what you meant, Kai, was this, which is good old
No,
Mike.
I imagine people gonna be blown away now. They never noticed. They never noticed the second
true.
voice there.
It's very true. Shall I unmute what you don't normally hear?
It is right.
So there are a section in this that aren't doubled.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
so shall I unmute
I
those?
don't like. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Cool. All right. So this is what is underneath.
Like a bomb, it's blowing a song inside. I'm singing sunshine that you're bringing now, and it makes me happy.
By the way, this is exactly what I was saying when I said that I saw Mike and Drake on the sofa doing this. It was basically what you're about to hear.
Listen to the radio, playing back in stereo. Sounds like my favorite song. I'm humming along, my head is ringing, and I just can't stop singing now, and it makes me happy. It makes me happy. You're everything I need, handed from above. I can't get enough of your love, 'cause it makes me happy.
So I'm sure this
cool.
was what the original vocal was.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is like the old vocal or if this is like if he really wanted to double Drake, because at some parts I feel like if that was supposed to be a lead vocal, he would sing it with more energy, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, possibly. You could be right. So do you think they maybe redid it for the album?
Maybe, but I
sit
don't
back.
know. I don't. I really don't know. Someone else has to answer that because
Yeah. Interesting, though. Do
Yeah.
you want me to play a bit more?
yeah, why not?
In the sun, let's get up and run, it's just beginning, and I just can't stop singing now, 'cause it makes me happy. Like a fantasy that you never find right in front of me all the time, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, there you go. Let me play you the Drake vocal for the bridge.
I want it all, but not too much. I wanna feel the way you touch me. I'm the kind of guy who's always there to come and find you. Save the rainy days for another time. I'm just here to say, read between the lines. I'm so glad that you're mine. You make me happy. You make me wanna sing. Do 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 do
That's my favorite ad-lib from Mike. Like, don't you know that you make me happy? That's cool.
Don't you know that you make me happy?
I'm glad they didn't delete that from the song.
Yeah, it's great,
because I think that's in fact an ad-lib from the Mike version.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
because I
okay.
think I heard that on the Zoe 101.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unmute everything just so you can hear it because I think it would be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we have the backing tracks, the backing vocals, I should say, which are all doubled and hard panned as we have come to expect so far.
Yeah.
So you can hear these.
Like a bomb.
In fact, shall I just play the whole lot together so you hear them in context?
Yeah.
Probably makes more sense, doesn't it?
Like a bomb. Inside I'm singing, sunshine that you're bringing now, and it makes me happy. Well, listen to the radios playing back in stereo, sounds like my favorite song. My head is ringing, and I just can't stop singing now, and it makes me happy.
It's just great.
Yeah. Well,
I love it.
My favorite part didn't come yet, but
Okay,
I will
carry
let
on.
you know. But I think you know. Maybe you can figure out which is my favorite part of the backing harmonies.
Okay.
I'm in the sun, and it's just beginning, and I just can't stop singing now, 'cause it makes
Is it that bit?
No.
Oh, okay.
me happy.
I think we've got the same again.
I want it all, but not too much. I wanna feel the way you touch me. I'm the kind of guy who's always there to come and find you.
Oh, by
Is
the way,
it that top one?
can we mention that in that exactly that part, to come and find you, that part kinda Drake kinda doesn't sing that high note, right? Like
I don't think
it's
so.
kinda I can't explain. Maybe play it for a second. Let me
So this
let me
is
check.
Drake, just so you know.
Always there to come and find you.
But he's stopping, and
Yes.
in the mix, like it's mixed like it's Drake's vocal, like "come and find you." It seems like that in the mix, but once you see the stems, you notice that is Mike continuing the note.
Totally right, yeah. It's almost like those backing vocals bleed into the lead, don't they?
Yeah,
And you'll see, based on what you've said there is automation where it gets brought forward.
yeah.
So that makes sense.
It was probably on purpose, so because Drake
yeah.
didn't sing that, and they thought this should be there. So
Let me just play that section with Drake's voice, with that vocal.
Touch me, I'm the kind of guy who's always there to come and find you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And what was this one? I don't remember what this one could be. Let's see.
I'm so glad that you're mine.
Forgot about that bit. And then the very end.
Say hey, well, don't you know that you make me happy?
Oh, it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can never go too far wrong with Mike when it comes to the background vocals.
Yeah.
So they're all the lyrical parts to it, but then there is the sort of melodic, just oohs and ahs that happen in the chorus, and all of those together sound like so.
Oh.
It's a little choir of Mike.
Yeah. And that's my favorite part of the song.
Oh, okay.
This harmony influenced me on every record, like kind of this way of like putting your harmony together, stacking that is insane.
Yeah.
Like
What's also
when
really nice,
when he goes like when he goes up and down, and that's something I don't know. I didn't notice that before in music. Like I paid attention to that when I heard this song.
Interesting. Okay, so that was a pivotal point for your development.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Kinda.
amazing. Also harmonically in this song, the two chords that are happening there, which it is D or D7 to F, they don't belong in the same key together. So what's required is for there to be a kind of shift somewhere out of key, and part of it is just what makes that sound really good, I think. So obviously credit to Mike, because he makes things sound amazing, and the choice of notes that he uses, but it's also just a good progression as well. And then the very end that you hear with all the doop is like so. This is again Mike.
I probably, like, if this was my production,
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I would have. I would have. I would have like cleaned all the tracks from the breath. But actually, the way he did it is kind of like a beatbox. Like he's like, like it's really like a beatbox. So it's like, it's not that the breath stuff is out of the rhythm or something, like offbeat. So it works, but like I would clean the shit out of these tracks and cut away all the breath. So,
but isn't it also
and
really interesting that they clearly didn't do that here, but it still sounds great.
Yeah, because he's not offbeat. I think that's why. And also, I don't know if that's the case, but if you listen to that part, it sounds kind of like he even boosted the low end to have more from the mic, from the air, like
Interesting.
more explosive stuff in there, right? Like,
well,
maybe he didn't, but it sounds like maybe it's just because it's a stack, so he has a lot of that happening. So it's
possibly.
Yeah.
I know that there is an SSL EQ in there which removed a lot of the low and I think boosted some high. So if I turn it off, you'll probably hear a difference.
Yeah, it actually removes some of the lows, but the lows are still very like present.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just great. I love that bit. Let me play that along with the vocals at the top as well. Just it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. So for me, like hearing all of those vocals was essentially that lost YouTube video that I could no longer see, because it was sort of like hearing that, but as the full band were pitching in. It was great. So I'm hoping that would maybe one day come through, or maybe even the person that uploaded that might.
Yeah,
see
people who listen to that podcast, if they like, I know there's some very rare videos on YouTube that doesn't have Drake Bell in the title or something. Like it's like it's titled something like 325.mov or some MOV MP4 whatever. And like if people know like these videos, like rare videos, just send us links because
please,
there might be stuff we can include in this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And also as fans, it's just nice to see these things again.
Yeah.
So that sadly takes us to all the tracks.
Yeah.
Of the entire song, the whole production there. It's actually one of the smaller songs of the album.
Yeah, but it sounds so full.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, again, a perfect choice of the frequency spectrum range and, you know, just the production choices. It's perfect. Is there anything you want to say before we finish things off?
No. I would say just play through the song and people can continue to give us all their money. So we will
BuyMeACoffe.com,
we will make
this link.
And we will make another episode in like 6 months. Because it's a lot of work, guys. So no.
Especially this next one, which is Fool the World.
Oh yeah, we actually need money for that, please.
I think I need it to pay my electricity bill.
but on a serious note, like before this episode, Jordan and we already talked for a moment on how we want to do this Fool the World and this Fallen For You thing, because you guys don't know yet what, like, these sessions are insane.
They are huge.
Like, we need to take breaks between recordings because it's so much, like, my head's gonna explode. So so please understand if we need some time for the next episode after this, because it's crazy. It's going crazy. Like the rest of the record will be insane. I mean, End It Good will be like the
that's probably the quickest one.
That will be quick. Like, we will have it in 5 minutes, but it will be crazy. Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Absolutely.
And
we hope you enjoyed.
Bye.
We'll see you soon. I will play us out by slowly introducing parts of the song.
Everybody must know love's in my heart like a bomb. It's blowing a song inside, I'm singing. Sunshine that you're bringing now, and it makes me happy. Listen to the radio, playing back a stereo. Sounds like my favorite song. I'm humming along, my head is ringing, and I just can't stop singing now, 'cause it makes me happy. It makes me happy. You're everything I need, handed from above. I can't get enough of your love, 'cause it makes me happy. It makes me happy. Living in a daydream, I'll show you what it all means. Spending some time in the sun. Let's get up and run, it's just beginning. I just can't stop singing now, 'cause it makes me happy.